Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Tiff with the T here, back with another video. Before we get into it, smash the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and be sure to leave me a comment on your thoughts down below. Let's get into the video.
What happened to me, it was different life experiences. I don't think what happened to me had anything to do with a girl per se. Like, I went to prison when I was young, and so it kind of hardened my feelings to a certain extent. You understand? Like when they put you in these boxes and lock you in there, and you've been through some of the shit that I've been through, bread loaf diet, plastic cages, shit so hot the floor's sweating. Like when you live like that for a long time, you have to build up like a wall where it's like the feeling of love it's kind of foreign to you. So you're more harder than, and you're not as compassionate or empathetic to a lot of people. So when I came out here, I couldn't feel some of the things that other niggas was feeling. It was like, well, shit, those feelings, like even being away from family, like I just got to a point where it's like I could be around family, and I miss being around family. Before, I've been so long without family that it was like, it wasn't nothing to me. You understand? So when you forced to have to live without, you kind of build up that place in your heart where you're just like, I'm cold, like I'm numb, I'm ice cold. If I could start being around a person and laughing with them and joking with them, and I like vibe, because it can't just be sex. Mm-hmm. It cannot just be sex. Right. It's the vibe, it's the person, it's the camaraderie, it's these things that allow me to just say, all right, fuck it, we rocking.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's another thing. So then when I came out here, then I was like professionally a man whore.
The girl in the wig is definitely feeling Maino. The look on her face, look at the look on her face. She's looking like, okay, I feel you, I see you.
Right? So I was good at it, really good.
Professional.
Like almost, not professionally, but you know, I'm just saying, like, so what I'm saying, I'm joking, but what I'm saying is like, I've been with a lot of women and I watched them do a lot of sneaky shit. Like have husbands or have men and dick in their hand and, yo, I'm just with my friend, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Yeah, so it's like, I've been that man on the opposite side, so I always looked at it like, man, I can't trust no girl, man.
Promise
You don't want to
nobody.
be on
Blanket generalization on all women?
Not on all women, because I judge people by, you know, I don't prejudge them. So what I'm saying is that it just made me feel like I don't want to be extra trusting because she could be doing whatever. Because I'm watching it. I'm on the receiving.
From the side.
Yeah, I'm
side nigga.
I'm the receiver. Exactly. I was so young, I didn't really have real relationships before that. I didn't have like real relationships. Like, you know, I was a kid. We talking 16 years old, right? So I didn't really experience, you know, like, by the time I came home, I was 26 years old, right? So, but that whole period of growing, like going on dates and, you know, and building with a woman, I had never even been on a date, like a real date at a real restaurant, until I was 26 years old. I had never even went.
Wow. Can you imagine not having been on a date until you're 26? Your emotional growth will have been stunted if you haven't been exposed to people like that. There's a lot that you learn about yourself when you're in the dating world, when you're actively vetting men or women. So that's crazy. I love how honest and transparent he's being. You can definitely tell he's coming from a place of vulnerability, and he's okay with that. He's just telling it like it is. If you're not bold enough to be transparent, it's going to skew the conversation, because people are going to get an idea of what a relationship might be like when it's not actually that way. And I wish more people would be transparent about the relationship experience, because there's so many different situations that we've all been exposed to, and we can learn from one another just talking about it, embarrassing or not. Maybe that's embarrassing for him to say that he didn't go on a date until he was 26, but that's the truth. Like, that's part of who he is, and that simple fact probably has a lot to do with the way he is in his relationships, because that's huge.
The movies with a girl. but I was popular growing up, so I had a lot of action, but it wasn't real. And I started to connect while I was in jail because everybody does. Oh man, I love you. I love you, but you really feel that love because the girl coming to see you and stuff and doing things for you, you love who love you. So it's a natural feeling. You cling. Listen, niggas be in love with 700-pound. You know what I'm saying? Like you love who loves you. So I didn't really have no real connection.
What is it with prison men loving super fat women? Like, I never understood it. I ain't gonna put nobody on blast, but I know a couple people, okay? And they're in this exact situation for whatever reason. They just have, like, I don't know if it's a fetish or maybe there's an insecurity on the woman's part, and so she looks for a man who's in prison. That's a whole different topic. Like, I could make a whole nother video about that, but I just thought it's interesting that he's describing that experience, and it's so true. I've seen this for myself. So
Connection as far as like before I went.
You can't tell everybody your story. You can't tell everybody what you've been through, because when you do that, certain people use that to their advantage.
Oh,
you know,
yeah, they be taking advantage.
like that has happened to me on so many levels. Like, you know, like how Maino has a situation where he says he doesn't love because of what he's been through in jail and blah blah blah. My situation was where I trusted someone and I introduced them to like a person that I thought was my best friend, and I turned around and they was fucking.
That happens though. I've done shit like that, so I'm a bad guy. But
Oh my God.
But then that puts the female.
Maino, you ain't shit.
That situation, like, it makes me feel like I can't trust anybody, and maybe that's why the way I am, how I am today.
As the older you get, the more guarded you become towards other people.
But here's the thing with being jaded or preventing yourself from being vulnerable in a relationship is going to stop you from being able to really connect with somebody. You have to, that's part of the experience. It's the risk of getting hurt by making yourself vulnerable, by opening yourself up to the possibility of getting hurt. If you take that off the table and the person that you're with is not getting the authentic you're not going to get the authentic them. You're not going to have all the information that you need to determine whether or not you can move forward in a relationship or in a long-term commitment with that person. So my feeling about it is the sooner that you are vulnerable with someone, you let them know your flaws, you let them know your insecurities, those ugly things about you that you're afraid of other people knowing about you. The sooner you do that, the sooner you will either connect or disconnect with the other person, so that you know, like, okay, there's a fork in the road, we need to go our separate ways, or, oh, I can accept all of you, like, that's all you got? I'm here to stay or you're here to stay. So the sooner you do it, I feel like it just brings you closer together if you're meant to be together.
Because it's like you hear experiences of other people. So you don't want to judge people, but you kind of already are. So you're like dating someone and it's like they say one little thing off and you're like, yeah, you might be like, you might be that person. You might be like this. So I think the older you get, the more hard it becomes for you to become vulnerable to the next person.
But it's not only just with age, it's with experience, right?
That's what it is, experience.
Right.
So like, let's say for example, I'm gonna take you for an example, right? Like, let's say if I was incarcerated for a good amount of time of, like, let's say only 3 years, and I was in my teenage years, whatever experience I received while being in there, that's what determines how I am toward other people, right? And so that just goes with relationships in general, with friendships, with boyfriend, girlfriend, anything, your child, and it doesn't really like determine on age. I'm only 23 years old, so I get really offended when I hear that, only because it's kind of like I've been through the most shit in my life. For someone to tell me like, oh, well, you know,
You're not old enough.
Huh?
You're not old enough.
Exactly.
But you haven't
like,
been through enough.
Oh, girl, like you a baby.
Bullshit.
And I love that I'm young. You understand what I'm saying? But I've been through some shit where it's like I could sit here and
Or a
really
40-year-old
tell.
hasn't experienced that shit.
Huh?
Right.
Like you've been through shit that older people, way older, have not even dealt
Probably,
with. I've been
you know?
through shit that people never experience.
Probably, like it just like depends, and it's like you're either lucky or you don't, depending on what you experience, you know. But I've been through enough of even like dealing with domestic violence for 2 times of my lifetime, for dealing with my child's father, whole like situation where he's not around, or like, you know, just different things, like so many different avenues of traumas, and that's what determines who you are today, right? And so, I mean, it's just like, that's where the no judgment has come into form. That's where the, you know, you just really understanding people for being people, like just being like humane. You understand what I mean? So.
Shit, man, I done been through some shit that make me hate humans.
Yeah.
Right? But we can't always live like that.
Right.
Because then we gonna miss out on some of the joy that life could bring us, right? Because it's some good people.
Yeah.
Most people is just fuckheads and dickheads and assholes. But I mean, you got good people.
Yeah.
So you just gotta deal with people. You gotta, like, I start people at a 10. It's a demerit system with me. You started at 10.
Yeah.
And you work your way
You
down.
work your way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Put everybody on the same level playing field until they give you a reason to knock them down. And then, you know, when they get down to that 0, you know, you just cut them off. That's the best way to deal with people. Meet everybody with an open mind, open heart. Keep your past experiences with you as a reference point to know what people are capable of doing, but don't let that determine whether or not you let people in, because like he said, it'll stop you from meeting good people.
But I meet you on Monday, by Friday you might be down to fucking 2.
Well, me, I try to know my personality.
I like how you do that.
I try to know who I'm dealing with, know who's for what. Cause like I get tired of bitches when I call them like, oh, today I'm hosting a party and then that hoe don't show up. Then I be feeling some type of way.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like I know this is not the bitch to call for a party, but I know this is the bitch to call when I'm linking with somebody that she thinks she gonna come up off of.
And so now you know, it's levels to it. It's
Yes, and this is so true. You have different friends for different roles in your life. A lot of times we think that somebody is a bad friend, but it's not necessarily that they're a bad friend. It's that you're trying to put them into a role that they're not necessarily equipped for. You might have a friend who's a good party friend, but you're having that friend be your dependable friend. You're calling that person when your car breaks down. You're calling that person to borrow some money, and that's not that friend's role. That friend doesn't do that type of thing. That's not their personality. That's not who they are in your life. And the crazy part about it is they could be that role in somebody else's life. Like, they might be the friend that's dependable or the friend that loans money, but in your life, you're trying to fit them into a role that it just doesn't work out. And that's something that you learn with experience of dealing with people, that it's not every friend that you can have in every area of your life. You know, you have a couple of friends, you might have 1 or 2 friends that they're good for everything. Then you might have other friends that they're just there for a good time, or maybe you have friends that it's all about business. You got to be able to recognize when that's happening, and don't write people off because they're not fitting into the role that you think they should fit in.
It's a growth thing. It's a growth thing. I think we grew up in a society where growth is like taboo. It's like, oh, you changing. Oh, you don't live in the hood anymore. Oh, that growth is a great thing. When you grow, everybody grows around you, and then you see people differently, and you start to link up with people who are growing too, and y'all grow together. A lot of times we just think that we could take everybody with us, and that's the problem.
That can't be true. And whoever thinks that growing is a problem, stay away from them.
It's a problem with them. They're the problem.
Fuck staying stagnant and fucking not.
Because that's not even true. Like that's not even possible to be on this earth all the time and be trying to get to the places that we trying to get to without growing.
Yeah.
We trying to get in. So it's a hustle. So life is a hustle. We trying to get in different rooms. We trying to be in different places. So we trying to mix it and shake it up. So on that course, we meeting people. We being introduced to different lifestyles. Like the shit that I do today, I could have never imagined.
Yeah.
The person I could have never imagined. I'm like bougie a little bit.
A little bit.
Wait, so let's go. Is dates important? Is dating and dates important when you're trying to get to know someone new?
I think, well, yeah, definitely. I feel like, but I don't know, cause me, I just feel like if I'm trying to talk to somebody new, I feel like, I don't know. You're right.
You don't got a date, really.
What I feel like is the traditional idea of what dating is not necessary to get to know somebody. If you Netflix and chill with somebody 5 days a week, you definitely gonna get to know who that person is. Or if you're cooking at your place 3 days a week, or he's coming over, you're gonna get to know that person. It might not be a traditional date. They may not be spending money on you, or you guys may not be going out together per se, but you are around that person. Yes, that's necessary. You do have to be around somebody to get to know them, and you gotta kind of see them in versatile situations to really assess the full picture of who they are. But like I said, that traditional idea of, oh, you pick me up at 7 o'clock, you take me to a restaurant, that type of date, I don't think that that's necessary to get to know somebody.
You gotta go on dates, though, man. It's just the best part.
But
I
it
think you
depends
gotta
if
be
you're
friends
feeling
first.
them, though. You ain't just gonna be like, yo, I wanna.
Well, you don't want to date.
If you're interested in them, then like, don't.
But we're not talking about fucking. We're talking about dating.
Oh well, hey.
Movies.
God damn.
You gotta lead up to getting the pussy. It's just not that easy.
It's not about fucking. To me, listen, that's the best part to me.
Yeah.
I like to do that, like, because I feel like I like to go from this girl don't even like me, and I like to.
You like to show off, impress her.
No. I like to mentally
In her head, yeah.
get her, right? Get her to the point where she liking me. Like I text her every day.
Oh, so you like to manipulate.
It's not manipulate. I'm just convincing her that she should
You're
like
showing her
me.
who you are.
Why does she have to say manipulate? Because he's saying that he's trying to get into her mind. That's the way it should be. It's not all about the sex. It's not all about the physical part of the relationship. It's about that. What do you do for my mind? What do you do for my spirit? Like, do you really know who I am? Do you care what I got going on with me? That's what he's talking about. And she automatically said, oh, you like to manipulate. Why do women think like that?
Showing her, so I'm a gentleman. I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing all those things that makes a girl say, damn, I'm starting to like him. You understand? So that right. That
Wait, but
process
do
is
you
the best
change
process
though,
to me.
Maino?
Yeah,
Possibly.
Cause then it's real.
That's the fucked up part, though.
Then it's real.
Possibly. That's possibly. It's possible.
If you're not going to open the door for me,
If somebody changes after that dating period, that's inevitable because the dating period is always like a honeymoon phase. So of course things are going to change once you really settle in and you're comfortable with the person. You're going to start seeing things about them that they wouldn't show you when they're just dating you. So that makes sense. I don't think that is manipulative or it's like switching up on somebody. That's a natural process of getting to know somebody. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
to open the door for me 5 years down the line that we're dating, don't open the door for me now. I kind of put that rule from the beginning when I'm dating someone. Like, if you're not going to hold up to who you truly are, don't show me somebody you're not
At the beginning.
at the beginning. There's no point of that.
I just got a quick question.
Yeah.
though.
Question.
Maino.
Oh shit.
Look. As a man, do y'all ever like feel any type of way if y'all like hurt a girl's feelings?
Yeah, see, listen.
That's a good
That's
question.
a good question. Check this
Like-
out. Check this out.
No.
When I'm doing those things, when I do those things that I said, I'm
See, I don't like questions like this because I feel like you're generalizing. It depends on a whole bunch of different factors. It depends on the man. It depends on the woman. It depends on the situation. It depends on a lot of different things. So you can't generally say, do y'all ever feel some type of way when you hurt somebody's feelings? Ma'am, it depends. We're not robots. There's no manual to how we think or the emotions. We're very complex.
a gentleman. It's because at that point I really like her.
Right.
In my mind, I'm like this girl, and I've convinced myself that I like her. I want to take her to. We could go out, restaurants. We could do whatever, have a good time. If in that process, she's a good person, and if something happens, I would feel bad. Like, damn, I ain't mean to do it like that. You know what I mean?
What do I do?
Fuck herself.
No, I'm gonna be like, all right, because if the sex was already there at one point, then we're gonna talk about it and what happened, like. What's going on? Is it someone?
I don't think it's possible. Like, once you're in love with somebody,
That's bullshit.
Like,
that's bullshit. Niggas can lack. That's how you have to know
yes,
how to make yourself come,
They
though.
can, but once you're in love with
Okay, so the fact that she said that it's not possible, I don't think that she's been in a truly long-term relationship before, because having ups and downs with your sex life is inevitable no matter who you are. There's gonna be times when it's really, really good. There's gonna be times when it just ain't hitting the way it used to be hitting or whatever. Pregnancy happens, stress, different life events will happen that will just mess with your sex drive, mess with your sex life. So to say that I don't think that is possible, that's really naive.
once you're in love with somebody, you have this thing with them, like, well, no matter what the sex is
always
doing.
We are going to talk about why our sex is whack, and then we're gonna do something about it. I don't know.
you need to
Am I
step it
not?
up.
I'm not turning you on. Then I'm gonna figure out how to turn you on. If
Yeah.
you're not turning me on, then I'm gonna figure out how you can turn me on.
Right.
I'm gonna go with someone else then.
Need to step it
Or
up.
maybe it was just a day where he was trying to get his nut off. Maybe it was just one of those days where he needed to get his nut off and then he was tired.
Consistently for over 6 months. It's just
But that's why I can't see that happening. Like, I can't see
I'm lying. For what? That we're gonna talk about it?
You gotta step it up.
You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
No, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say, all right, babe, look, I don't know, but the sex has not been good. What's going on? Like, am I not satisfying you? Like, would I cheat?
No, would you go find someone
Yeah,
else?
would you
don't get
cheat?
good
No.
dick anymore.
That's cheating.
I am not.
Yeah.
I'm really not like a cheating. I'm not a promiscuous girl.
like a cheater or a cheater?
I'm not a cheater at all. Like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm really devoted in my relationship. That's the type of person I am. I don't like to make my significant other look bad. Or
Right.
As it should be. I don't feel like there's any excuse for cheating. If it gets to that point, you need to communicate with your partner and let them know, like, hey, I'm finna cheat on you. Maybe we should take some time apart. I don't want it to get to that point. Break up with them, do something. But I don't feel like it's ever necessary for a person to cheat, no matter the circumstances. I feel like you can get out before it gets to that point.
bad or
Right.
be talked about, because just myself, I'm not gonna walk in a room and I'm with someone and I fucked him yesterday. Like I'm just not.
You just don't want to
I don't like that. If I'm in a committed relationship now, if I'm single and I want to do whatever, fuck whoever I want. All right, that's a different story. But if I'm with someone, I'm not promiscuous. Like
When you get to a committed relationship, is it like a conversation?
And how patient are you?
Wait, what? So much questions. Which one?
Is it a conversation? How do you know you're in a committed relationship? Like Maino, like when did you know you were in a committed relationship?
When I noticed that she didn't leave. Whole month went by. You still here? God,
This is real now.
Like, this is real. And then the thing is, I wanted to keep her around, right? So I wanted her around. So I wasn't getting tired of her. I liked what I was feeling. I liked it was different. It wasn't just, because after a while, you
Bored.
fuck girls in different cities, you fuck girls, you fuck their friends, you fuck the sisters, you
Pussy
put
is
them all
pussy.
together. And after a while, it's just like, damn, Because listen, I would come home and then feel lonely because all my homeboys got girls. So now I would come home and then I'd be like, damn, who could come over tonight? Who could come over? Damn, yo, what's up? What you doing? I'm in my bed, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't always work. So after a while, you be lonely and shit. You been on the road so long that your lights is off and you ain't pay shit. So nobody home. The house don't feel like a house. It's different when you got somebody that take care of you, take care of the house, and it's a better vibe.
You changed that.
Yeah.
If you made it to the end of the video, congratulations. I love you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.